Here's the lens I've been waiting to review for quite some time. Oh my god. See, Voigtlander, a 65mm f2 macro. I am spoiled on macro lenses because I own some of the best, most expensive macro lenses. Boy, I do. I got a lot of macro lenses. By the way, this lens greatly reminds me of my Zeiss 100mm macro, in that it is both awesome and infuriating and pisses me off at the same time. You want to take a look at the throw of this lens? Okay. Look at the throw on this lens. It's like something you'd see in a penis pump commercial. Did I say that? I'll edit that out later. I can't stand that sort of insane throw. This is typical of manual focus macro lenses. Most macro photography, except for the new Fuji Millimeter 80, the 80mm Fujifilm lens, which is absolutely incredible, and the best macro lens of all time. By the way, this lens is $1,000. It's 10 elements. It has buttery soft out-of-focus elements. It's very dreamy. Renders incredible. This, by the way, is a Sony E-mount. I was using it, and I got a link below if you want to take a look at a million images of this lens. I was using it on this horrible Sony camera, the old Sony A7, which is borrowed, by the way. No, I don't own the Sony camera. I'm borrowing that. And it is muted in diffuse light, but not in a bad way. Really deep saturation, well-defined and bright light, incredibly sharp. It is the only issue I have with it, and I have an issue with the my favorite, maybe, well, my second favorite Voigtlander lens of all time, the 40mm f1.2, is that incredibly bright light. It is over-muted and bleached even with correct exposure. That's a minor issue, something you have to compensate for and be aware of. Lenses do have character. Every person in the world that knows a lot about lens, like, yeah, that's the character of the lens, and that's definitely a character of this lens. Cannot stand the long throw. Actually, I give this lens a 6 or 6.5 out of 10. I was actually expecting more out of this. It reminds me almost exactly of my 100mm Zeiss macro lens. Insanely long throw, just a total pain in the crotch to work with because the throw is so long. Not that it's manual focus, because I love manual focus, just that long throw. It is better on the out-of-focus elements than the Zeiss is. This actually makes a plenty decent portrait lens. It makes a better portrait lens than it does a macro lens, because macro focal length is everything. A 65, sorry, is a little too damn short. Everything is about getting light on your subject so you don't have to stick the lens up the ass of whatever it is you're shooting, because when your macro lens is this short, yeah, bigger is better in this case, right? When your macro lens is short, you have to shove it up the butt of whatever it is you're shooting, and that makes getting light into your subject for sensor saturation more difficult. I'm not really a fan of this lens. Sorry, actually, I was impressed by it, impressed by the output, really impressed by the out-of-focus rendering of this lens. It does make a great portrait lens, by the way. Make a really good portrait lens. Not over that of like an 85-1.8 or 1.4, but build quality is a 10 out of 10. What a piece of perfection. I'd always wanted to mess with this lens, and now that I have, I'm a little bit depressed. Had it now for a week and a half. I don't know if I could actually say I recommend this lens. Take a look at the images below and make up your own decision, but I give it a 6, 6.5 out of 10. This is one of Fujifilm's newest lenses. Their other newest lens I bought is absolutely the tits, the 40mm 1.2, probably my favorite, not my favorite lens of all time, but definitely top 10, period. I love that lens. My God, is it incredible. And it's so compact. Wow, what a lens. Can't do better than the build quality on this thing. It's just milled like a Rolex. Absolute perfection. I think it's a really good lens. I'd actually like to have it if they had it in the Leica M mount. That way I'd use it adapted to the Fujifilm, but not really, because the 80mm Fujifilm lens is the best macro lens of all time, period. So anyway, that's my review of the, at $1,000, that's actually pretty cheap. It's comparable to what the Zeiss 100 to f2 was back in the day when it came out, and this is made better. So, oh, been outside shooting all day, or much of the day anyway. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please click the link below, or tell me to take a running leap off a short pier, take a long walk off a short pier. Isn't that what they say? Yep. Thank you, and goodbye. Oh, by the way, Sony. Thank God I don't need you anymore. You're just a horrible camera. Horrible ergonomics, most disgusting menu systems I've ever seen in my life. It's a one sick puppy of a camera. Imagine if that was the only choice we had, was to use that damn camera. That would be appalling. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, my mind wandered there. Am I still filming? Sorry. Not. Bye.